Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, most people assume that buyers are willing to pay top dollar for homes, even if they have not been updated. So, what are some home improvements that can help sellers make the very most money when they do sell a house?
Well, the truth is, buyers are not that way. They want everything. They want everything fresh, new, move-in ready. They don't want to have to spend any money on houses. Even if you're offering a really discount on the home, um, they still will pick it apart. So it's really important to get your house ready to show. And that just involves a little bit of cosmetic work to make it look good. There's some minor improvements that really can make a difference of your home selling quickly or it's sitting on the market for a long period of time. So it's really, you don't necessarily have to do a full-on rehab, but it's definitely worth the effort to make it seem fresh and move-in ready. And that's part of what we do. We give home sellers a free in-home consultation on what to do, what not to do to get their house ready for sale. We give them a really good idea what price range it will sell in and how much they'll put in their pocket when it sells. So if that's something that interests you and you're thinking of making a move in the next 3 to 9 months, give us a call. We'd love to talk with you. So there are certain updates that really will bring you substantial return on your investment. Number one is neutralizing paint. So most people can paint. Um, I can't. I'm not very good at it, but I'm just saying it's not that hard. If I put my head to it, I probably could do it. There's kind of, I was watching one of these design YouTube videos recently, and he was saying a trend right now is to completely immerse a room in these deep, rich jewel colors, like this deep slate blue or greens, emerald green, or anything dramatic like that, even reds. Um, it's okay if that's what you want for yourself. It might be okay for a one-off room like a study, but you don't want your major rooms to have a dramatic color because that's all it takes to make buyers go, oh, it won't work for me because they can't visualize their style in that home. Let me give you an example. I had a listing a few years back and it was neutralized. It looked great. It sold in one weekend. We got over asking price. Everything was fine. And at the same time, one of my colleagues had a listing, similar price point, similar area, and it just sat on the market week after week after week. And he's like, what am I doing wrong? I said, let me look at the pictures. And sure enough, they had an accent wall that was turquoise in the dining room and an accent wall that was, I want to say, mauve or kind of a pinkish color in the living room. And I said, you have to ask the sellers to neutralize those two walls because that's enough for a buyer before they come see it to say, oh, it needs too much work. So they did that, boom, sold right away full price. It's just really weird how a little thing like that can make a difference. Wallpaper is one of those things that dates a home many times if it is older wallpaper, although it is coming back. If you talk to designers, it's a thing now. If you go to the parade, if you went to the parade last year, you probably saw some wallpaper. But in general, if it's heavy, it's enough for buyers to turn their nose up. I had a listing last year, this time of year, and they had a border in the master bedrooms, just a little strip of wallpaper around the top, but that was enough to date the home. They also hadn't freshened up their carpet on the main level. The basement was new, but not the main level. So that was enough for buyers to just turn their nose up. As soon as they corrected those two things, boom, went under contract, full price right away. Another thing that you can do that could update an older home that may have something like wood paneling that actually dates a home, especially in photos. We've seen a lot of people actually paint wood paneling a white or a creamy white color, and it takes on this kind of look of, like a seaside shiplap sort of thing, which is very popular. So it's a simple thing that you can do. The same thing with some people paint brick if the brick looks too dated. And curb appeal is like the #1 room that buyers look at before they decide to come see your home. So that's really important to get it right. It's a little bit more challenging in the wintertime. All the yards are dormant, the leaves have dropped, the mulch is blown away, make sure your doorbell is not broken. We see that all the time where the doorbell gets tracked, in this dry climate. And then it gives this bad impression when the buyers are walking up. So you don't necessarily have to have landscaping, but you can do it with mulch or even fake flowers would be enough. And make sure the backyard looks great as well. Again, same thing in the winter time, but you can clean up the yard enough so that they can see it. And I do recommend that if you have some of your own photos of how the yard looks in the summer, provide those to your agent. We could put those online. The buyers want to see what it's going to look like, especially if you have a robust garden or that kind of thing that you want to show off. Any deferred maintenance on decks really stands out. Like if a lot of decks absolutely need paint as you go through the winters. And it doesn't matter the age of the home. If your buyer is going to get an FHA or a VA loan, the appraiser almost all the time is going to call out any peeling paint that they see on the outside of the structure or the outbuildings. So like if you have peeling paint, most of the time we see it around the edges of the garage or around the front door, the back door. It's an easy touch up to deal with that problem head on. And flooring's absolutely critical. Buyers want to move in, drop their stuff, get on with their lives. They don't want to do any work. They don't want to spend any money. So I get the question all the time from sellers. They'll say, well, can't we just give them a carpet allowance? What if they want to put in their own luxury vinyl or whatever? And yeah, there are those few occasions when a buyer might, in fact, pull out brand new carpet and put in their own thing. Okay, but you would not have got them to make an offer if you had not done that. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but that's been my experience. Things like carpet that has traffic areas really stand out, especially on pictures. Hardwood floors that have traffic areas, heavy traffic really show. Any tired, ripped vinyl. Carpet in the bathrooms is very unattractive for buyers, and there's pretty inexpensive fix that you can do for that. You can go get pieces of luxury vinyl or you can have a flooring company do it where they will give you remnants and you could fill a master bathroom with luxury vinyl. I had a client do it last year and she got 50,000 over asking price. So updated flooring, luxury vinyl is very, very popular. And there are many things that you can do. Bathrooms are critical as well, especially master bathrooms. So just freshen it up, brighten it up. You can update things like lighting and plumbing fixtures at a very low cost. Maybe paint the cabinets if they look tired, and make sure the flooring looks good. So my name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and we're talking about some home improvements that are really critical that will help a buyer pay top dollar for your home. And remember, right now, your competition is new homes, right? They have everything fresh and new, and they're giving away a lot of incentives to get buyers to sign their contracts. So you have to compete with them. And next up, what we're going to talk about are the two interior rooms that are probably the most important to buyers. So we will hit that. We will rules of thumb about bathrooms. Just look at the competition. You have to compare the price range. Like if it's in a lower price point, you don't necessarily need granite or Corinthian leather or anything like that, but you want it to be fresh, move-in ready, and not broken. And sometimes just little things could make it attractive, like light fixtures. Maybe you could replace the Formica with an updated Formica. That won't be as expensive as granite, but it'll look like granite. So there's some cool things like that that you can do. And we can also guide you through that. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Let's talk about bathrooms for a second, Richard. What are your thoughts on what things look attractive to you in a bathroom and what are just definitely a deal breaker?
Clutter is just such a problem. You always talk about that and using photos to kind of reevaluate things. But until I talked to you, Barb, I had no idea why so many home builders were adamant about putting carpeting in a bathroom. I don't know a single person who wants carpeting in their bathroom, but it does make sense, at least when you were a builder trying to save money.
Yeah, I mean, they do it to save money, but it's not what the buyers want, that's for sure. And clutter, it's weird. I look at a lot of pictures of other agents' listings, and I'm not sure everybody really studies, you know, what the buyer's viewpoint is on a property. I talk to people that are buying homes in other areas, and I'll ask them, okay, so how much time do you spend looking at one house? And typically, it is less than a minute. It might even be less than 30 seconds if they don't like the first 5 or 6 pictures. And when I meet with sellers, I'll highlight some of those bad photos that repel buyers. Like I had one during the boom that put this bathroom on the market, and in the center of the bathroom was a very big kitty litter box. Would that turn you off, Richard?
I have a cat. And yes, kitty litter box goes into one of the bathrooms, but I have to tell you, that's okay for me to live with. I wouldn't want that in a photograph if I were looking at buying a home and seeing that there. I would almost smell it just by looking at it.
Yeah, and it's easy just to put those things away for the photos. And there are quite a few people that won't go see it just because they're allergic to cats. So it didn't make sense to me, but it was fun to make fun of that. The bathroom also had clutter, like you mentioned. So it's easy, and the way you do it, you take a picture, you look at the picture, or have your very blunt friend look at the picture and tell you what they think, and that will give you an idea on where you need to go.
To Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And you can always reach Barb at 719-301-3900. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about important things to know before listing your Colorado home. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss that.